Hey, welcome. Today we're going to peel back the curtain on the physical heart of our digital lives. We are dissecting the anatomy of a data center rack, which is, believe it or not, the fundamental building block that really makes the entire internet possible. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so we all talk about the cloud, right? We save our files to it, we stream our music from it, we connect with everyone across the globe through it. But have you ever just stopped for a second and wondered, where is it? I mean, is it actually floating up in the sky somewhere? Well, the answer is a little more down to earth and honestly way more impressive. The cloud lives right here on the ground, inside these massive, highly secure, unbelievably complex buildings called data centers. And inside those buildings, you've got rows and rows of what we're here to talk about today. And this is a data center rack. The best way to think about it is like a high-tech cabinet or maybe a skeletal apartment building for the most important electronics on the entire planet. It is the basic unit that organizes and protects all the hardware that makes everything you do online actually happen. All right, so let's crack one open and take a look inside. What are the critical organs that make this whole technological creature tick? We're talking about the brains and the central nervous system of the data center. First up, you've got the servers. These are the absolute workhorses, super powerful, specialized computers just stacked one on top of the other. These are the brains of the whole operation, doing everything from hosting websites to crunching all the complex calculations that power our apps and services. Now, for all those brains to actually work together, they have to be able to communicate. And that's where network switches come in. A switch basically acts like a local traffic controller, creating a super fast network that lets all the servers and other gadgets within a single rack talk to each other at lightning speed. But what about talking to the rest of the world? I mean, outside the rack? Well, that's the job of the routers. So if the switch is the local traffic cop, the router is kind of like the main airport dispatcher, directing all the data traffic from the rack out to the wider internet and then routing all the incoming traffic to exactly the right spot inside. And of course, all that data, all of it, has to be stored somewhere safe. That is the role of these storage systems. These are specialized units just packed with hard drives or solid-state drives, and they act as the rack's long-term memory. They're safeguarding everything from your family photos to the most critical business information. So all of these components, the servers, the switches, the storage, they're all interconnected by this vast and, well, you can see, this incredibly complex nervous system of data and power cables. Managing all these cables isn't just about looking tidy. No, it is absolutely crucial for making sure air can flow properly and for making any kind of maintenance even possible. Now, when you put all this high-performance hardware together in one small box, you create two immense challenges. First, how do you supply it with a constant, reliable flow of power? And second, how do you get rid of the unbelievable amount of heat that it generates? So to handle that first challenge, power, we have what are called power distribution units, or PDUs. Now, these are not the average power strips you have under your desk. Not even close. These are intelligent, heavy-duty units that really act as the circulatory system for the rack, delivering clean, reliable power to every single device. Okay, so we've got the power handled. But a rack full of servers running at full tilt can generate as much heat as several kitchen ovens. So the real question becomes, how on earth do you keep all of this incredibly expensive, vital equipment from, literally melting down? The answer is just a masterpiece of thermal engineering. It all starts with a concept called the hot aisle/cold aisle layout. See, data centers often have a raised floor, which creates this empty space underneath that acts like a giant air duct. Super chilled air is then pushed up through these perforated tiles right in front of the racks. And here's the clever part. The servers are all designed to suck that cool air in through their fronts, pull it across all their hot internal parts, and then blast the now heated air out the back. This creates a hot aisle behind the racks, where all that exhaust is contained so it can be efficiently pulled away. And this whole process isn't just happening at the rack level. Oh no. The entire data center building is essentially a massive breathing respiratory system. Huge air conditioning units are working constantly, 24/7, to chill the air, push it into those cold aisles, and suck the hot air out of the hot aisles to be cooled down and used again. It's just a relentless, powerful cycle. So you see, all of this precise engineering means that a modern data center rack is so much more than just a metal box. It's really a highly strategic asset that impacts everything from performance right down to the company's bottom line. I mean, the benefits of designing things this way are huge. You're packing equipment vertically, which saves incredibly precious floor space. The organized layout makes cooling way more efficient, which in turn lowers energy costs and reduces the risk of equipment failing. On top of that, it enhances physical security and makes maintenance so much simpler. You know, this quote from our source material just says it all perfectly. These racks aren't just passive containers anymore. They are active, strategic pieces of infrastructure. They are the things that enable the performance, the reliability, and the ability to grow that our modern world absolutely demands. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, the next time you tap an app or stream a video or send a message to a friend, just take a second to think about the incredible physical journey that your data is taking. It's all made possible by this amazing unsung hero of the digital age, the data center rack.